And I can see why women don't report. And I can see why women don't go through it because of my instance, for example. Because justice is almost never served.
At the end of the day, the resolution versus what you have to go through it's so lopsided that it's not worth it many times.
National statistics from the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network show most rapes go unreported. When they are reported to police, the vast majority of cases don't lead to rape convictions. In Ada County, only about 16% of rape charges end in someone being convicted of and sentenced for rape. And that can lead to victims being re-traumatized, feeling the justice system has failed them. One Boise woman says that's exactly what happened to her. Here's investigative reporter Morgan Romero.
How do you put the pieces together?
It didn't belong here anymore.
After something traumatic
What's the point?
leaves your reality shattered and scattered.
I had been talking to a man on Tinder for about a week, and we decided to meet up to go on a date. And then we went back to his place, and we did have consensual sex at first. Then he came back and raped me.
Rose reported the alleged rape to police in October of 2022.
He beat me up. He choked me.
She got a rape kit that night at Faces of Hope Victim Center, now Ada County Victim Services Center. Court records show police got an arrest warrant the next day, and a grand jury later indicted the man on 2 counts of rape and aggravated assault.
Because I had very high hopes.
But more than a year later, the suspect's defense attorney introduced evidence about Rose, where she posted her, quote, alternative sexual preferences and kinks online. Preferences like choking, domination, and something called consensual non-consent play. The man claimed Rose told him about those fetishes and everything between them was consensual. Rose denies both those claims.
I view this as a case that was probably going to be very difficult.
Still, an Ada County prosecutor told a district judge in a November 2023 hearing,
Your Honor, the state does move to remand at this time.
that evidence changed the case.
I'll just put on the record that there was a change in the complexion of the case.
The evidence would make the allegations difficult for the state to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors and the defense agreed to an Alford plea. The man pleaded guilty to 1 count of misdemeanor battery in December, even while claiming he was innocent of that. In the November hearing, the prosecutor's office acknowledged Rose was not happy with the outcome.
I can tell the court that she is very unhappy with the state, and I think she will let that be known in court.
But it was the, quote, right resolution.
We have complied with the Victim Rights Act.
Under the Victims' Rights Act, victims of crimes against children, violent crimes, and sex crimes don't need to sign off on a possible plea agreement before it's entered. They just need to be advised of one, which Rose was.
Technically, I mean, just informing a victim is probably ethical.
Lourdes Matsumoto is the director of law and policy with the Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence.
But it doesn't feel ethical to say, I need you to put yourself out there. I need all of your information. I need you to go through this trauma. I need you to continue to reopen this wound in order for me to prove my case, but I can get rid of it without ever having your stamp of approval.
And then I asked if they had made the decision, and they said yes. And I said, oh, you didn't even consult me. You didn't even call me in to talk to me about it. You just took that choice away from me too.
We wanted to know if Rose's case was unique and how many cases actually result in rape convictions. Ada County Prosecutor's Office data shows they charged and closed more than 90 rape cases between January 2018 and December of 2023.
Rose's case is among more than 20 of those that pled down to misdemeanors. While 56 rape charges ended in some kind of felony conviction, rape convictions are rare. According to Idaho Judicial Branch data, only 15 rape cases in Ada County ended in rape convictions during that 6-year span.
It takes so much strength to get there, and then to have that be the outcome is in some ways more damaging than if you wouldn't have pursued it ever to begin with.
In the state's second most populated county, rape conviction rates are a little bit lower. Out of more than 40 cases filed in Canyon County during that same time frame, just 6 ended in rape convictions.
From your perspective, would you say the Ada County Prosecutor's Office does a good job at pursuing, prosecuting, and or convicting rape cases?
It's not something that any agency, any system is doing to accurately reflect the amount of harm and injury that is taking place. That's not to say that no prosecutor in the state is soft on this issue or doesn't want to. It's a systemic problem. The systems are not set up to assist victims to bring those cases forward, and the ability of everything in your entire past to be used against you makes it difficult for a prosecutor to secure convictions. And so I would say that's probably true of Ada County as it is of every other prosecutor in the entire country.
The Ada County Prosecutor's Office declined an interview on camera, but they told me over email that rape convictions don't necessarily reflect success or the best result in every case. Sometimes they try to avoid trial when a victim can't face cross-examination.
In a statement, the Ada County Prosecutor's Office said they do an outstanding job handling sex assault cases, stating, quote, "The Ada County criminal justice system is not perfect. It bears the same limitations as similar systems throughout the state and the country. What's different about Ada County is the fierce commitment that the people involved in the system have to do the very best we can within the constraints of the system."
My experience is that the state does vigorously pursue all cases of a sexual nature, of domestic nature. If the state felt that it could prove the charges, that it would not back away from them. I don't have any doubt about that.
Matsumoto feels the criminal justice system as a whole isn't set up to keep victims' trauma top of mind. She also says the ability to introduce evidence about a victim's past adds another barrier to reporting, prosecuting, and convicting rapes.
What is needed to successfully prosecute or get a conviction versus what is needed to honor the victim's trauma and journey through this are often diametrically opposite.
And she says convicting more rapes would take overhauling the system. Although Rose doesn't feel the system gave her justice, she's moving forward, rebuilding her life piece by piece. Even creating a new picture by trying to give others strength.
I want to share my story in hopes that while in my eyes, maybe in other people's eyes, the system has failed me, there is still that slight percentage that it could not fail someone else. And if other women, survivors, see that I'm strong enough to do it, that they're also strong enough to do it too.
It is important to note false allegations of sexual assault are rare. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center says most research on false reporting is unreliable, but a review of studies available shows the prevalence of false reporting is between 2 and 10% of incidents reported to police. If someone is sexually assaulted in Ada County, they can go to the Ada County Victim Services Center where they can get a forensic exam. They can talk to law enforcement if they choose to. They can also reach out to Faces of Hope. Faces offers a safety net in times of crisis with resources like counseling, support groups, legal help, hotel and transportation vouchers as well.